So, that was a thing. Black Mirror Season 4, Episode 3, Crocodile. This is your spoiler warning, because I'm going to be talking about this thing and... ow! The inciting incident is not shocking. Actually, just the way it was being shot, I'm like, when's the body gonna crack into the windshield? Boom, brrr, there it is. And so I'm watching it, and so that happening didn't, it wasn't shocking, especially kind of saw it coming. But then how much time it's lingering on disposing of the body. Because what usually happens in these situations is once characters make the decision to hide the body, you kind of jump to, just making clear what they did with it. You don't take the time to have the guy run to his car and get a sleeping bag and weigh it down with rocks and all that. So, like, right there, that's the first level of unsettling sinking in as we just linger on this process of getting rid of the body a lot more. And then we get to the hotel, and the whole thing there, again, it's not exceptionally unexpected, and more to the point, it's at that point, it's not yet unsympathetic. It was his mistake, both the initial hit and the decision to get rid of that body, that she doesn't want to have to pay for. I'm still thinking in my head as I'm watching this, I'm like, you're making the decision that the risk to what you have now ranks above what someone else has already lost, because the reason he wants to talk about it is the wife of the guy they killed just never knew, and but she's not, again, she's not unsympathetic, and it's not an unsympathetic situation where, like, look, for how she got into the situation, what she stands to lose, like, I'd like to think I wouldn't go there, but I get it. But then again, we have the long lingering disposal of the body, like her driving around with this thing in the back seat. How much time we spend focusing on her getting it out of the hotel room in the first place, her sitting in the car talking with her family with this body in the back. That's the sort of thing that I don't remember ever seeing played straight. Like, I can actually think of times that I've seen, this much emphasis put on the disposal of the body, but usually it's been times where it's been played for comedy. I mean, dark comedy, granted, but it's like, oh, just got off the phone, camera pans over, you can practically hear the laugh track. Oh, there's the body right there. It's almost like it was listening, thinking of things like the bit with Jackie Boy in Sin City, or, any one of a million, usually very bad dark comedies, where they think making jokes about dead people is somehow edgy. But I can't remember seeing this much lingering emphasis put on the disposal of the body where it was allowed to sink in how unnerving that actually is. So we get that, and then we've been seeing the insurance investigator, and I really like. It's not as pivotal to sort of the thrust of the episode as some of the other technology things in the previous two episodes I've seen. Keep in mind, this is only the third episode I've seen at all, because I'm starting with season 4. So it wasn't. It was more a logistical plot point. The plot didn't actually really hinge on it, because it was just about this woman and the depths that she was prepared to sink to. But I do want to talk about the technology thing with the whole memory thing. I liked it. I liked that they acknowledge what so few movies, especially sci-fi movies that claim to read your memory, ever acknowledge, which is that Memory is fallible. It can change. How well you remember one specific aspect, it will depend on how much that triggered a reaction from you. A bunch of stuff's gonna be blurry. Stuff is open to suggestion, like with the dentist. You know, in his memory, this woman's wearing a lime coat, and he gets told it was yellow, and then just the memory changes. I love that gets acknowledged, because human memory is like that, but it's so often when you're dealing with a memory recording as any kind of a plot device in a movie or a story or whatever, they treat memory like it's this absolute record, this infallible document, and it's not. That's not how human memory works. So I really like that was acknowledged as part of this, and that did actually pay into the things as this woman tries so hard to focus and not think about the things she doesn't want this machine to pick up. But it does. And that's where things really, really started to go, because at that point with the insurance investigator, this woman is no longer just reacting viscerally to an immediate threat to her life. She is making decisions. I'm not saying there's no duress. There's a little duress, but she is taking the time and weighing her options and making these choices to kill people. And what's really disturbing is that it is sold in a way that's like, yeah, I buy that. Which is really hard. It's really hard to push characters into these kinds of actions and not have it just seem silly. But this doesn't. And then and every step it becomes less and less understandable, less and less relatable, as she escalates from helping to cover up someone else's mistake, doing something possibly just in the heat of the moment because of she wasn't responsible for the initial situation and it threatens everything about her life, to making a much more measured decision of the degree she's willing to go to try and preserve her life, to actually breaking into someone else's house to kill a man and then to kill a baby. I mentioned in the last episode how endangered children don't sit well for me, and I'm not knocking it as a storytelling device. It can be justified, and in this case, for the story that this was telling, I would say that it is. But it is about the most down to the core, visceral, negative reaction that something can get from me, but not like in a screaming, angry way, just in a no. Yes, I will say, and from what I'm hearing from some of my comments, I shouldn't expect this, but I will take the silver lining of that guinea pig getting picked up, and it looked like they were going to hook it up to the memory device. I don't care if that's questionable. I need to believe that she suffers, that she is caught and she pays, because just no. So this was really good. Of the 3 I've seen so far, this was the one that I found the most disturbing. I think USS Callister was the most existentially scary. The Archangel was the one that was sort of and I don't mean this as a knock, but sort of the easiest to wrap my head around. This one was just sinkingly depressing, as it showed you the worst depths that a human could sink to, but doing it over a course of progressive steps that makes it all the more believable that somebody would actually do that. And how believable it was in terms of explaining her motivations and how she got to where she is what made it unnerving. So that is Black Mirror, Crocodile. So have you seen it? What did you think about it? Whatever your thoughts are, drop something down in the comments. Let's talk about it. Do all the things, like, subscribe. I'm on Twitter. I got an email. I got all these things. Links for all this stuff's down below, the podcast, etc. So that's it for this one. And until next time, this council is adjourned.